Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more Radiant Tale. Continuing where we left off, we were just starting into chapter 4, right? Yeah, we were about to go to Ferris. It's been a couple days. It was a weekend, so I didn't play over the weekend, so now I don't know where we are. Anyway. Oh right, we're Ion now, okay. Good thing I read things anyway. One of Eshelita's major 5 and founded by Valen, the great spirit of fire, Ferris, the dual city. And this city upholds the ideology that strength is justice, and every day gladiators fiercely vie for victory in the 9 arenas. All disputes and incidents are determined by the results of duels, and it is a city where a handful of powerful people monopolize glory, while the countless people without power weep in anguish. I can only pray that this place will change like all the previous cities we visited. Also, I'm very curious whose route we should go down first, since we're just in the common, and we haven't picked a love interest technically. So... Why are we at the show already? And that, my dear audience, will be all for today's show. And now then, everyone present, please give thunderous applause to our members who put on such a brilliant performance. Golf clap. There's 3 people in the audience, I'm just kidding. How's the flora? I believe it's exactly how you predicted, hearing that applause. I figured as much. It isn't even sprouting, let alone budding or blooming. I don't know, that looks like a teeny little sprout on it. Seed didn't budge at all, so I tore my eyes away from it, gazing at the empty seats. A few people had come to see the show, but it was a grand total of 13. What did I say, like 4 people? This was the fruit of our labors from Circus's first show in Ferris. It's kind of interesting they did it this way, where they're like, right off the bat, there's a show, and then we gotta work, instead of like doing it. I mean, I like it. But it like threw me out. I'm like, excuse me, we're doing a show? What? But like all the other ones, they get to the town, they do some investigation, they do all this, and then they do the show, and now they're like, we did a show and it didn't work out, and we're gonna have to start over. And like, I kind of like that they changed it up a little. They didn't stick with the pattern, but at the same time, you had a pattern, you changed it. What are you doing? But I also appreciate it. Throws you off, though. Afterward, I'd gotten changed and was breathing a huge sigh while tidying up our show tent. It's been ages since I last saw so many empty seats. Feels kind of fresh. Why are you thinking of it like that? Like, I kind of love him, though. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Look at our innocent little himbo. It's kind of awesome having nobody in. I mean, because it's different. You idiot. Shut up. Ugh. I knew this was gonna happen, but as someone who's worked in the service industry, I feel utterly defeated. Hey, let's think positive. Since there's so few people... Oh, hold on, my freaking volume keeps skyrocketing. Anyway, since there were so few people, cleaning up the audience seats is a cake. Besides, we had a big fat 0 for our first show in the capital. But this was double digits. You weren't even in the show in the capital, Rady. I'd say that's a win. Is it really? Grumbling won't change the outcome, so stop making such a fuss about it. We already discussed this. We'd perform with the assumption that it'd flop. I know, but... I thought I clicked, but I guess not. Celeste had warned us that our show would be an uphill battle this time, so... We'd wanted to gauge the reception directly. Immediately upon arrival, we decided to put on a scaled-down show. If we didn't promote at all and only relied on the presentation of our tent, how many people would come watch? Would people enjoy our usual program composition? Well, after that trial... And the results, fellas, were exactly what you saw. I know we didn't promote, but still, when it's this dead... Ugh, so depressing. Oh, come on. Don't torment yourself over it. This was only a trial, after all.
We'll use this experience to analyze what we lacked and prepare for our main show, okay?
Huh. So Ginny really can speak wisdom. In that case, do we do the whole promote and investigate thing we always do? Vilio's like, why did we change our pattern? I'll work hard as a supporter then. I'll cheer for you all while making your flyers.
Oi! What happened to all the motivation you had in Orions, huh?
I am motivated. It's just that the presence of fire spirits is really strong in the city, and I can't work up much energy. I see. And that is similar to how Vilio felt in Orions. Ah, okay. Don't push yourself too hard. Thanks. I'll do what I can. It was already our 4th show, so the team was pretty used to the proceedings by now. We all began enthusiastically discussing our individual plans. Our first priority is to fill the audience seats. We need to actually attract people here next time.
Right!
Well, I don't know about that. Who's question mark, question mark, question mark? Huh? Leanne? Who are you, random new character? Who is this is right? Are you lost, perhaps? Only staff are allowed to enter this area. Why does he look like Impy crawled into this game? Doesn't he? It's like Impy aged down a little bit, but also was like, I got a little makeover in this arts and crawled into this game. He's giving me that vibe, and I can't. So, but like, Vilio already has that voice, so like, what voice do you have? Because that's your voice. I don't have enough voices for this dude. Guys. This is a problem. I need more voices. Could have the Valley Girl voice. It's the only option we got left anyway. Don't be such a spoil sport. You guys are that circus group I've heard about, right? I heard Ion's around, so I came to have a chat. Ion? I glanced over at him. Ion, who saw the intruder, widened his eyes in shock. Are you... Avi? Yep, long time no see, Ion. Glad we're both alive and kicking. The last time we met was before you went to the capital, so it's probably been about 3 years now, huh? Ion looks so sad. Don't look so sad. He's so pretty when he's sad. Oh, God. Oh, it's that all over again, isn't it? Why are you so sad? You're beautiful when you're sad. Stop it! But he is. Look, his little sad face is so precious. What's this about? Ion, is he an acquaintance of yours? My bad. I haven't introduced myself yet. Avi. Or Avi. Whatever. I'm Avi. A mere merchant. I might not look like it, but in the past, I was just like Ion. A fellow... Oh, whoops, sorry. I was trying to skip in the middle of his sentence. Like, oh, don't read... It, you know, like... I forgot I didn't do his thing. Well, you know what I mean? It's like, and I was a fellow, and then you have to interrupt what he's saying real fast, but I forgot in the midst of that there was glossary. Avi, 1. A young man who works both as a merchant and the owner of the 7th Arena of Ferris, an old acquaintance of Ion's. He offers to help Circus when they first arrive in Ferris. Okay. Anyway, I'm a fellow... We're just old acquaintances. Nothing more. A fellow... I mean... Oh, now he's all mad. Okay, listen. He does like martial arts and shit like that, and he can throw swords and whatnot. You don't think that we know at this point that, like, oh, no, don't talk about the fact that I used to be, like, a freaking gladiator. It's like, I wouldn't be surprised. Is that how you lost the eye? Got, like, a spear to the eye. Like, it's gonna come out. It's like, okay, yeah. That I would expect. You know? Hey, at least call me your former coworker or something. You're as cold as always. Avi clapped Ion several times on the shoulder while the former wore something of a scowl. We're gonna be like, oh, we had no idea he used to joust or whatever it is, and it's like, I mean, I feel like that we'd be like, oh yeah, I mean, I didn't think about it, but it makes sense, you know? I feel like Ion being a gladiator or fighting or doing anything like that is not as shocking as meeting Zephora and then figuring out he's a clown in a circus. We knew this going in, but I feel like as the main character, when you meet him, you're like, oh, and he's like, I'm the clown, and you're like, wait, what? You? With your bitchy attitude? Or the clowns are supposed to make people happy, and you... Well, technically you make me happy because you're an asshole, and that's what I get off on these games. But, like, but you know what I mean? Like, that's astounding. You're like, the fuck? But, like, Ion being like, yes, actually, I used to fight. Yeah, somehow could see that happening, so not shocked. Oops. Anyway. They probably did used to know each other, but the relationship seemed rather complicated. An old acquaintance of Ion's, huh? That reminds me, I don't really know much about Ion's past now that I think about it. If you're Ion's former coworker, were you a public security officer as well? What? Public security officer? We will discuss this later. That aside, why did you suddenly come here, Avi? See, we're gonna be like, oh, you were fighting? I'm busy attending to other matters. If you wish to chat, please save it for another day. Busy, Are you referring to the show earlier? Oh, were you watching? How was it? Pretty awesome, right? Oh my god, I love how small Vilio looks next to standing. He's like only up to Avi's shoulders, for fuck's sake. Okay, he's not quite that small, but like he looks so tiny compared to him, it's adorable. Nah, I only had a brief look, but to be blunt, that was shoddy. The dragon was impressive, sure, but no matter how many times you perform, I bet you won't get any spectators.
Hey! I can't just stand by and let you run your mouth like that. Brady the Great and his band of merry men have earned a standing ovation of countless cities so far, for your information.
Don't dramatize it, Furball. That being said, we have found success in other cities, and that's a fact. Yeah, cool story, my man. He just cool story bro'd us. Yeah, cool story, bro. Anyway. Why is that so good? Yeah, cool story, my man. That's great, but other cities are other cities. At the very least, it's not gonna work here. Being a Ferris citizen, I can declare that with confidence. Hearing Avi's judgment, I spoke up nervously. Why is that? Is it maybe because the residents here hate the capital? Huh? So you know about that? Yeah, quite a lot of folks hold a grudge against the capital after what happened 3 years ago. But that's not all. There's a bigger, more fatal defect about your show. Avi shrugged slightly, jerked his chin as a cue, then began walking off. If you want to know why, follow me. I'll take you to a good place. We all shared a look as we watched him leave. He said he and Ion go way back, right? Is it alright for us to follow him? I love how Vilio's like, can I follow the stranger, Dad? He is harmless, I think. He's not a bad person, at least.
If it's as you say, then I guess we might as well follow him for now.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't irritated by his rude remarks out of nowhere, but if a person who lives here is willing to give us constructive criticism, it'd help us out a lot. After I expressed my agreement, Ginio waved his hand flippantly.
Okay, and then you guys can go ahead. I'll tidy up the tent. I'll see you all at Cheers later.
And that's unusual. Ginio volunteering to clean? And do you perhaps dislike Avi or something?
Well, I can't say I'm fond of him, but that's not the reason. I'm just in the mood to pick up right now. Okay, end of conversation. Toodaloo!
With that, Ginnia shooed us away. What's going on, Ginnia? For the time being, we decided to follow Avi. Ooh, now we're Ion. An old acquaintance, huh? Is that all we're gonna get from Ion is just that one throwaway line? Really? Really, game? Baiting us a little? That makes it more interesting. Ferris, as a city, was structured around a massive arena. The symbolic Colosseum was at the center, encircled by 8 minor arenas and in the inner ring of the city. Colosseum, the arena in the center of Ferris. Here, major events such as large-scale duel tournaments and high-profile showdowns are held. Everyone in Ferris takes a special interest in the functions here. The outer ring contained the residential area surrounding the inner ring. Counting the center, the city consisted of 3 sectors. Someone compared the city to a circular housing complex, I think. We were currently walking through the inner ring with Avi in the lead. The long-awaited event for C-Rank Gladiators is here! The C-Battle Tournament will be held right here in the 4th Arena! Those who've bought tickets, please line up over here! Popcorn's 20% off and a limited time special! How about something to munch on as you enjoy the match? Oh, looks like the prize of the 5th Arena's night game is the right to hold the Ferris Cup next year! Night game, a match that takes place at night. What the fuck? No way. A match between arena owners? Yeah, I can't wait to see their picks for their stand-in gladiators. Arena owner, a person who runs an arena, a figure so influential in Ferris, the dual city, that even the mayor can't ignore them. Stand-in gladiator, a gladiator hired by one party of a duel who fights on behalf of their employer. The stronger the gladiator, the more costly their services are. Okay, so, like, it makes me wonder, because didn't they say Avi, like, is one of the arena owners or runs one of them or whatever, right? And then it's like, oh, an acquaintance, huh? Like, maybe Ion was the gladiator for Avi. Like, you know what I mean? That was their partnership type of a thing. Whoa, that's a lot of people. Is there some kind of festival going on or something? No, that's not the case. This is normal for Ferris. This place probably served the same purpose as a main street in the city. The way was lined with arena entrances, and it was filled with such hustle and bustle that my ears were aching. At any given time in the city, there's some sort of contest going on in an arena. He is almost... No, I was gonna say he's almost taller than Ion. Like, they make him tall in this city. Like... I like the fact that, like, you know, Ion is skyrocketing tall, and, like, then they made Avi tall, too. Like, they grow him tall in Ferris, okay? The main passage here is especially busy with all the spectators and merchants around, so it's always like this. I'm getting a little dizzy from being around so many people. You okay, Pashalia? Yes. The nature of this place doesn't sit well with me, and the heated atmosphere here makes it even worse. You stay behind me then, Pashalia. I'll shield you from the crowd. So sweet. Actually, he's shorter than Pashalia, too. I'm starting... Once you noticed Ion's height being off the map, which one of you guys did point out, I've obviously recorded up to now before I've seen any comments on the first couple parts, but, like, somebody did point it out, and it was like I noticed it in a part that hasn't gone up yet. Like, I'm a little slow on the uptake. But, like, now that I noticed Ion and now I see everybody and I'm like, oh, look at that. Like, I like that. Do they do that in other games? I don't notice. Or I just forget. I don't know. Thank you. That'd be a great help. On a side, the smell of the snacks here is making me hungry. Oh, making me hungry. Drawn out. Indeed, there were all kinds of food stalls as far as the eye could see. Some fried dough. Light snacks that can be nibbled on during the fights probably sell really well here. Since there's so much competition, they're probably trying to attract customers through aromas and sales pitches. As usual, I was analyzing the sellers through the lens of my former occupation as we took in our surroundings, when suddenly... Get out! I know! We heard a yell before an elderly man was literally kicked out of a stall ahead of us. This shop is mine from today! Losers like you should disappear with your tail between your legs! Oh, are you alright? I couldn't just stand by and watch as the old man picked up his things scattered on the ground, so I offered my help. Yes, thank you. Filio, who joined me, glared at the stall that had tossed the elderly man out. You're not gonna be so rough with a grandpa like this. I'll go beat that guy up. You what? What nonsense are you saying? Can't with the unnecessary sense of justice. If you intervene rashly, you'll dive headfirst into trouble. Why are you stopping me? It was clear that he was... Please stop, young man. It was my fault for losing the match. Could you elaborate? In our eyes, you seem to have been driven out by force. The elderly man slowly stood up. According to him, he and the man earlier had hired stand-in gladiators for a duel with that stall as the wager. People are nuts. Gambling. This is gambling addiction right here. The elderly man's gladiator had lost, costing him all his rights to the stall. The entire stall was a wager? Oh, are you all tourists? No wonder you're unaware. That's how things work in the city.
Loser's always the one in the wrong.
The elderly man trudged off, and I could only stare, dumbfounded. Ion then muttered in a detached voice, wow, almost like he was talking to himself. Being the dual city, in Ferris, duels are seen as sacred and absolute. And they can decide many things, ranging from trifling matters like an argument over snacks, to deciding political policies. All disputes are solved through duels, and the loser must obey unconditionally. And that's the rule of this place. Place sounds like fucking hell. I'm with Pashalia. It's hot and it's like hot as hell in it. Like, he's like, there's so many fire things here, I'm dying, and I'm like, this place sounds like literal hell. Let's get out. Alice told us about this, but it's much harsher than I expected.
That might be paradise for strong guys like Vilio, but
praising me after all that doesn't make me very happy, you know. Vilio looked conflicted. Abby gave him a sidelong glance before giving us a bit more clarity about the state of affairs. Well, duels and arenas only happen when it's a big dispute like this one, which involved the rights to a stall. Official duels that involve informing the mayor or public organizations are few and far between. Mayor, the title given to the governors of each city. Mayors are nominated in Arthir. Small quarrels are usually decided on the spot with security officers present as judges. It can be as simple as a coin flip. Heard that the rules are surprisingly detailed and specific. For example, duels can only happen with the consent of both parties, but overly unreasonable applications are sometimes rejected on the spot or held with a handicap on one side. So there is still some order.
If that didn't exist, the city'd probably become a lawless area with anything goes.
Where anything goes, sorry. What would happen to the elderly man from earlier? No matter how worried I was, there was nothing I could do. Feeling torn, I continued to walk on. Ah, we're here, everyone. Avi halted his footsteps before the reception area of a gate with the number 7 on it. Hey, Luna! Oh my god, do we get a... Oh, she's adorable.
Avi, are you slacking off again today?
Ah, come on, you make it sound like I'm always ditching work. I only wanted to do an inspection today while I'm showing an old acquaintance around. The VIP seats are full, though. We can just stand and watch. That'll probably make the message clearer to them. Okay, please head on in then. Sorry for the wait. Let's go. That was... You asking about Luna? She's a receptionist here. Standoffish, but a hard worker. Oh no, that's not what I mean.
Where are we anyway? Is it okay for us to just barge in?
Ah, I see. And this place is one of the 8 minor arenas of Ferris. This is the 7th arena, which I own. So you know what I mean? This is where I was thinking, like it's like, oh, arena owners, and then there's gladiators that battle for them, and I was wondering if Ion was like Avi's gladiator, you know what I mean? The moment we stepped in, we were slammed by the cacophony of cheers inside, which dwarfed the noise from earlier. Ah! In the center of the arena were 2 young men with swords locked in battle. Blades clashed and gleamed. Blood danced in the air in intoxicating arcs, making the 2 go mad as a fatal showdown unraveled. Oh, no! I gasped in shock, overwhelmed by the intense exchange before us. However... Yeah, right there! Smash 'em! I put all my money on you! Don't dare get pathetic out there! In contrast to my reaction, the spectators were screaming louder and louder in joy. Almost as if he were responding to the audience, one gladiator sliced a clean horizontal line on the chest of his opponent. Oh my god, are these like fights to the death, like actual gladiator shit? Like, Jesus. I mean, I guess I should have been expecting that. Aren't they gonna stop them? One of them's gonna die at this rate. Fatalities are rare. If you slaughter your opponent, you lose by default. Oh, okay, well that's good at least. But there's still... That was when Avi spread his hands and faced us once again. Look at this frenzy, this excitement. See what I mean now? True, your show's impressive. I can see why you found success in other cities. But from the moment of their birth, the citizens here grow up watching the thrilling matches in these arenas. And there are plenty to watch every day. You don't even spare a glance at your little Play Nice production. I kind of want to punch him in the face. Why does he have such a punchable attitude and face? I couldn't even think of a rebuttal. Listen, I like our side characters. Ginny is gorgeous. Leon is actually kind of fun. Aleste is got the glasses, so I love him to death and he's a nerd. But like, Avi's like the one where you're like, nah, I want to punch you in the face. I don't like you. There's nothing wrong with him. He's just kind of a dick. You're like, you know what? You're just punchable, is it? Many people in the overcrowded audience were indeed going wild over this show. I like how we put that in quotes. Right, Ion? I'm sure you should know this very well. Get to the point. Abby spoke in a teasing tone, and Ion's eyes darkened in response. You only come to pick at our show. Never. Even I've heard the news that people in other cities have been raving about a group called Circus. When I heard that an old friend was among the cast, I was so proud. But in this city, you won't get the people with that. I don't want my friend to lose face, so I thought I'd help you out. It's like, I feel like he's doing a nice thing, but is it for nice reasons or because he's shady and douche? I don't know. I don't necessarily know if I trust you. Everyone else shows up and I'm like, I like you, I don't even give a shit, but you, I don't know about you, motherfucker. Avi smirked meaningfully as he spoke. There is one method that'll definitely make your show succeed. Definitely? What kind of method is that? Oh, it's simple. Let me produce your show. Huh? A fatal showdown between the strongest Fae in the world and the legendary gladiator has finally returned. Ion versus the dragon. I told you he was a gladiator. Like, why are we shocked? If we make that our selling point, it'll certainly get everyone's blood boiling. Legendary gladiator? I turned my questioning gaze toward Ion, but this makes him so much more interesting. Like, poor Ion was like, as much as beautiful as he is, he was kind of boring. He was a little bland before this. Like, there wasn't much going on, but like, now you're like, you know what now? This is your moment? And I'm here for it. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Ion. Like, he's lovely. And he seems like very, like, sweet underneath, but he's like the stoic strong man. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like, I need a little bit more for you. Get me invested in your story. Now I'm a little more invested, so I feel this. I'm glad you're getting your moment, sweetie. Okay? Because, like, again, all of the characters are beautiful. But everyone else has, like, his personality is just very straightforward and steady, and, like, everybody else has, like, snark or attitude or spunk or something going on. You know what I mean? Like, Pashali is just very delicate. But, like, Ion has just been kind of, like, there, and you're like, I'm waiting for something to kick up. Give me something. You knew something was there, I was just waiting for it, and here it is. And I feel better about it. Like, now I'm a little more intrigued by you. I knew there was gonna be something. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be boring, like, the whole time. It's like you're just standing in the shadows, and I need you to step into the light, and here you go. Now you're having your moment on stage, sweet cheeks, and I'm here for it. I was like, I do like him, he's lovely. But I'm like, everyone else is doing stuff. You're just, come on, step forward, do some shit. Dance for me, monkey! Like, alright, you're having a moment and you got some secrets. Yes, alright, we knew it was gonna happen, but waited too long for it, I feel like. Not really, but, you know. I turned my questioning gaze toward Ion, but he remained utterly silent with a grimace on his face. You're an outsider. Why the heck would we let you produce our show? It's a profitable proposal for you, too. Don't forget that I'm an arena owner, which means that I have some influence in this city. I could get your permission to use the Coliseum and even take over promotion for you. He has a point. Abby's offer could be something very helpful to us right now. Having the backing of someone with power would be very reassuring, but... Well, I'm not telling you to give me an answer right away. Consider it an option. Alrighty, I got stuff to do, so I gotta go. Feel free to watch as long as you want and leave whenever you feel like it. With those words, Avi left. We watched him go in complete silence. I mean, he seems congenial, you know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, let me produce your show. I got one down. Like, and I don't think it's like smarmy and shady, but there's also like, I don't know, are you smarmy and shady? Like, is there something else? Is there more to this? Or are you just genuinely trying to help? Because you're like, oh, hey, what's up, bro? I can produce your show because you're never going to get anywhere like that. Like, are you genuinely trying to help? Because, like, oh, it's good for me and it's good for you. Okay, fine, that's business, whatever. Or, like, is there something more sinister going on? Like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them. Like, you come in like a whirlwind with, like, this, like, perky kind of personality, but you're kind of mean about it. So, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And he might be totally fine, but he just rubs me the wrong way and he's kind of punchable, and I still want to punch him a little. You know? I don't know. What is it? Uh, I hope you enjoyed the match. Please come speak to me when you wish to spectate again. Abby's told me to let your group in for free whenever you like. Okay, thank you. After Abby left, we decided to leave as well. Saying goodbye to Luna, the receptionist, we left the area with brisk strides. We met up with Ginny at our usual place, where we were quickly becoming regulars. Yes, Cheers existed in Ferris as well, as if its presence was only natural. It's like our usual place where we were becoming regulars, at a different Cheers location in every city, but still the same damn place. It's like you walk in the doors of Cheers and you're just transported to, like, a Cheers that exists outside of time and space. Like, I'm in Ferris. Not really. Wait, don't you live in a different city? And, like, Cheers is just one location and the door is just magical. You know what I mean? It's like the door in Howl's Moving Castle where you're like, so you spin it and you pop out into a different, like, you're like, yep, this is Howl's place in whatever town you're in. And that's exactly the way Cheers operates. Not a different Cheers. It's the same one. It just has a door and different locations that magically teleports you to this one that's just hovering in some weird bubble. I would not be shocked, honestly. Oh, what's this? My dear Circus, you all look rather doom and gloom today. Let me guess. It's a broken heart, right? Did someone get rejected? Ah, well, you can't fight fate. Spacey really is destined to fall head over heels for me in the end. I'm such a great detective. Come on, don't answer with a sigh. Great detective? More like greatly defective. That is the lamest burn ever, but my god, do I fucking love Zephora so much. Oh my god, I couldn't even not laugh through that. Jesus. Oh my god, Zephora, that is the lamest dad burn ever. That is like I love it so much. Good god. That one was way too easy, and it's such a dad joke. But like, Jesus, I'm here. I'm here for this. Oh my god. I don't know if I could get through this without laughing at him, though. My god. Great detective? Or like greatly defective? And cut the nonsense and take us to a table. Zephora might be the kindest of you all. At least he's willing to respond to me. He might be the kindest! We're all like, still weirded out he's the clown and the kindest somehow. Alright. We'll just find a table on our own then. Sorry, I'll do my job. A table for 7. In his usual cheery demeanor, Leon led us to a table. I do love him. We immediately began discussing the events from earlier. Can we date him in the fan disc? We definitely need the fan disc, because I can date Ginia. I see. And the help of an arena owner is rather attractive, but a program centered around killing each other is the furthest thing from elegance. Agreed. I also don't really approve. It's a completely different physiology from our show so far. Oh, philosophy. Wow, I can't read today. Anyway, different philosophy. That makes more sense. From our show so far, and to be honest, I don't like it. Can't see myself ever coming around to Abby's proposal either. We'd faced dangerous things on our journey so far. Fiend encounters, thieves. But hurting each other, especially during a show, felt wrong to me. To say nothing of actually trying to get applause with such a demonstration. Our approval and personal opinions don't matter in these circumstances. It's our duty to bloom Flora at all costs, no matter what means we use. Stop being logical! Are you saying we should go along with Abby's idea then? Unless we find another solution, this is the only option we have. I'll never do it. Even if it's for a show, I can never go into a death match against Ion.
Guys, even if we argue, we won't reach any conclusions right now. Both of you chill.
Elio's little sad face, he's so adorable. Stop it. Listen! You can't be adorable and make me like you. I don't like the baby-faced ones, but he's our baby-faced himbo, and I just find him so precious. Like, what is wrong? Seriously, problems. That's right. Frankly, I think it's too tall of an order to make our decisions about Abby's offer right away. We managed to learn about one side of this city through Abby, but I feel like we haven't gotten much information about the problem we need to solve, the crux of the matter. We came across a little bit of it earlier. How the vulnerable are stuck in disadvantaged positions, right? Is that Grandpa gonna be alright?
Even if we worry about it, in the end, it's not like we can do anything. What we need to do is decrease such incidents as much as we can using what we got.
With Abby's method, we could possibly gather enough spectators and fan their excitement, but to be honest, I can't imagine the flora blooming even if that happens. But at the moment, we haven't found any means other than his proposal. Thus, investigation comes first, huh? Yeah, we need to learn more about the people of Ferris. That was like the most awkward reading of a Zephora line fucking ever. I'm sorry. We can't just focus on the excitement on the surface. We need to hear the voices of the vulnerable. Indeed, we have our own principles and methods. Right. And like always, let's start with what we can do. What we can.
Well then, everyone's probably dead tired after all that's happened today. So, investigation will begin tomorrow. All of you get some good rest today.
Almost as if trying to cool us down from the fever of the arena, a warm evening breeze brushed over us as we headed toward our camp outside the city walls. Chapter 5. I'm just kidding. The map! We go talk to Vilio. Look at that. Where we are right now. Who else can we talk to? Look at him sleeping on the ball! Is he sitting on it? He looks like he's sleeping on it. No, he's just... Shalia. Ginia. I love their little chibis. They're so cute. But anyway. We talk to Ferris main entrance Vilio. So, here we go. We were already there. I just like scrolling through them. The next day, I went out to investigate. I spotted Vilio and tried to catch up with him. Unfortunately, I like the fact that we're always trying to find him and then he's always like poofing out on us and we're like, where the fuck does he go? Huh. He isn't here. This open space was expansive, so it was unthinkable that I'd lose sight of him so quickly. Maybe I'd made a mistake. See, I kind of like this because you're like, huh, weird. There's something so fucking up with him. And I'm kind of here for it. It's interesting. That's why he's the locked character, you know? Now that I get a good look at it, the city has a magnificent exterior. I've heard many times that the entire city was designed like one big arena. They really weren't kidding. Not just the structure, but also how the people's lives revolved around duels. Though I'd only taken a short walk inside the city yesterday, I could still remember the fervor of the spectators. Will this city truly embrace our show? Abrupt anxiety clutched my heart. However, now, what I need to do is find a way to make them approve of us, so I can't let myself be intimidated. This is a place where strength is justice, and since I don't have power, I must at least maintain my strength of heart. Yeah. I psyched myself up and once again went into the city to investigate. We get those little asides, you know. Now who do we talk to? Well, we don't have any other option. Interesting. We have to... Ooh, cool. Huh. I mean, we have to talk to Ginia because he's the only option we have right now. I don't mind. I love seeing Ginia. Like many times before, we decided to split up and investigate. I left camp to check out the arena in the center of the city, but I realized that I'd forgotten my notepad, so I went back to camp. There I found... That was the weirdest giggle for him anyway.
I knew it. I know the city's toners can compete with Orion's. The purity of their water is almost magical. It moisturizes the skin like no other. Simply elegant.
What in the world are you doing, Ginia? Oh, he looks shocked to see us.
Oh, my. Hi there, Spacey. I thought you went into the city already.
I came back to fetch something. More importantly, everyone's doing their part to investigate the city, but look at you. Why are you here having the time of your life alone in your tent? Girl, you should not have walked in on that. At least you could never mind. Look, I love Ginia. Let me date this man.
You've totally got the wrong idea. There are extenuating circumstances. And well, I'm sure you can tell that a barbaric city like this doesn't agree with elegance such as mine, and...
Do you still want dinner tonight? I deliberately spoke in an angry tone, causing Ginia to try and explain himself in a panic. I love the fact that, like, we dominate this man. Like, I just... Here for this.
Wait! I was only joking. I really do have good reasons. And there are a bunch of... There are a bunch. Like, how my skin would get dry, so my makeup wouldn't look as good, and that's why my motivation is low, but... And the biggest reason is a little more serious.
What can I say? The reasons are exactly what I'd expect from him.
Remember what Allie said? And the people here resent the castle and nobility because of the purge 3 years ago. I can't just hide my aura of elegance. I'll stand out. And plenty of people would recognize me right away. So I can't just thoughtlessly roam around and provoke the folks here. If they learn we're affiliated with the capital, it might cause a riot. And that means it'd be harder to attract spectators, which none of us wants, right?
I see. Wanting to slack off is probably part of it, but Ginia seems to have thought this through. I think. If that was truly the case, forcing him to go out into town really wouldn't be wise. He'd arranged the venue during our first show here, so he'd likely already fulfilled what was required in his job description. He's also the tuxedo mask of the group, who's basically like, I did my part! And you're like, did you do anything? You did nothing! Come back here! Okay, Ginia does more than Tuxedo Mask ever fucking did. Okay. I guess it can't be helped then. But he definitely has a little Tuxedo Mask vibe, you know what I'm saying? Thinking that, I turned to leave Ginia's tent, but then... Oh, right. A thought occurred to me and I looked back. You were the one who assembled the cast of Circus, right?
Yes, I was. Why ask that all of a sudden?
Ion mentioned he was an ex-officer. Do you happen to know more details about his past? When we came across a fiend, you also said something along the lines of making the right decision when you brought him with. For a moment, Ginia looked surprised, but then grinned like a brat up to no good. Grinned like a brat up to no good. I feel like that describes Ginia perfectly.
I'm curious about Ion, are we? Ah, young love.
That's not it. Come on, don't change the subject with your jokes. Maybe, because I haven't decided if I'm going to follow the sort of recommended order and do Zephora's route first, or if maybe I'm going to do Ion's route first, and then do Pashalia, and then do Zephora. I don't know, because I like Zephora a lot, so I might want to hold off. I haven't decided whose route we're doing yet. First, we got to do those three. One of those three, anyway. After we came to the city... No, ever since we started talking about Ferris, Ion's been acting weird. I figured you might know something, Ginia.
Oh, Spacey. You're not just cute. You're such a good girl.
Why did you do that? Ginia ruffled my hair before leaning in and staring into my eyes. Stare closer, harder, closer, kiss me.
He happens to have rather complicated circumstances, you see. I'm pretty sure he's on edge because of that. I can't tell you the details readily, but don't you worry. No matter what happens, just once, I can do something about it.
Stroking my head, Ginia gave me a wink. Oh my god, oh, seriously, you can't wink at me while petting me.
I'll only offer my services for free one time. Working without pay is such a chore.
What are you even saying? He's probably trying to reassure me. Okay, I get it. If you say so, Ginia, I'm sure it'll work out.
Yeah, at Leave it to me.
Ginny, do you have secrets that we don't know about either? Are you like a genie? Like Ginia, Genia. Yeah, I'm just saying. After that conversation, I finally headed into the city to investigate. I feel like if Ginia had some like weird secrets, it'd be like, yeah, but like you're not a love interest, so that's not as much fun. At night, several days later, of course, the game has done shit like this to me before, where it's like, do we get the secret round? Do I get to date my favorite character? And they're like, slap you, and no, that's your brother, bitch. And you're like, again, though, but what's the problem here? The problem is you didn't give me the route. So, like, Ginia could have all sorts of juicy secrets, and you're like, and you're not going to give me a route? There's no excuse for this. I doubt he's related to us, though, because I'm pretty sure he's got a route in the fan disc. And, you know, it better be romantic. Because listen, we know for a fact that Spacey does not have a problem romancing family members at this point. So, like, I don't care. He could be my uncle. I don't give a shit. I didn't grow up knowing him. It's whatever. I'm sure he's not, though, but still. But he might have other secrets. I don't think he's related to his secrets, but you know what I mean? Those are usually the routes that you can't have. Why you can't have them? Because it's like secret sibling. And again, we know I don't care about that, but I mean, I'm just saying I don't think, like, I wonder now, like, Ginny, what the fuck are you? She's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Do you have secrets? You don't have a route, so it wouldn't be as fun for you to have secrets. You know? It's like, that's the whole part, the fun of your route is figuring out the secrets. Anyway, at night, several days later, with our investigation mostly finished, we all returned to camp. We went over our findings at dinner while discussing our upcoming show. Well, it's pretty much exactly how we'd heard it was beforehand. If you're strong, you're a star. If you're weak, you're dirt. The majority of people here have a very simple view of the world.
In the end, physical strength decides everything, so people in weaker positions can't even voice their opinions. It may be the rule of the city to make decisions through duels, but it's clearly going nowhere good.
Everyone thinks the same way. No wonder the arenas are all the rage. But the rage and excitement of these people, it's completely different from those who have enjoyed our shows. Their expressions, their demeanor, everything. Definitely.
Well, true. And many citizens here are simple. And that's how this entire city became a breeding ground for corruption for a time.
The entirety of the underground arena was weeded out during the purge, and the city's gotten slightly better. But only slightly. Underground arena, an arena located beneath the city of Ferris, and in terms of structure, it was likened to a prison, a place where clients enjoyed illegal gambling. It was so corrupt that they even bribed the public security forces in Ferris. When it was still in operation, many illicit duels were held here, and humans were forced to fight fiends and beasts. During the Ferris Purge operation 3 years ago, it was shut down and sealed away. It's kind of funny being like, they had illegal gambling. Why would you need illegal gambling when everything's fucking basically legal? You're gambling your entire livelihoods away. Like, you know what I mean? I guess it's more like, yeah, but we couldn't fight to the death. Like, people are fucked up. Humans. Underground arena? Oh, Ion, do you know something about the underground? Wait, I know there's a big one at the center and small ones around it, but there were even more?
Yes, there was. The 9 arenas on the surface date back to the founding of the city, but there was a hidden arena constructed afterward. Though it's fully sealed off now.
That we know of. Why does Ginny's face look so sus right here? It's just one of his expressions. Eat it out. So did people do bad things with it? An entertainment space for the wealthy to revel while burning through illegal money, even bribing authorities to keep it going. Order and rules don't exist in such a place. Even if fighters kill their opponents, it's an accident, never a crime. Those people enjoyed matches without a care for lives lost, pitting humans against humans, and even fae and fiends. At least that's what I've heard. How could they? That means people were forced to fight to the death? The cruelty was so unimaginable to me that I was at a loss for words.
And that's mostly accurate. To the death wasn't written down or anything, but it was an unspoken agreement. Of course, the king couldn't just sit idly by and allow such an atrocity. And the security forces of Ferris were rotten to the core, too. Left with no choice, we sent in Arthur's security forces and did a purge.
And that was the Ferris purge operation, huh? Then all the bad guys were defeated and everyone lived happily ever after. Is what I like to say, but it doesn't look like it from what I've seen from this city.
Celeste mentioned that too. He said it only provided superficial relief.
The chloris bloom rates inside Ferris are still plummeting. Power's everything. Citizens are so obsessed with this concept that they resent our government, which interfered with it.
I tore the haven of the wicked away from them, but the roots are still there.
Ultimately, that underground arena is the result of the whole strength is justice policy getting out of hand, isn't it? And I heard that people usually hire stand-ins for duels, which means that rich people are strong too, right? Weakness isn't just physical. People who lack monetary power are considered weak too.
Plus, the disparity between strong and poor has only gotten worse and worse.
This is like way too fucking real right now. This is way too real! Get the money out, like, when you were going physical strength, it's like, fine, we're all weaklings, but like the whole, like, money makes you, like, oh dear God. And the discrepancy, the disparity, like, the rich get richer and the rest of us just get poorer wherever you were. You were like, nah, you poor now, bitch. We all poor. Sucks. Let's not cry anymore. It'll make me depressed. Which means that the people will continue to be unhappy no matter how much time passes. And chloris will stop blooming. We need to do what we can to change that with our show. After we'd reached that conclusion, we decided to finally begin discussing the program of our show. But at that moment, let me guess, what's his face? Oi! Suddenly a rough, unfamiliar voice rang out. Nah, it's just a random dude. Shaken, I looked up to find several men barging in, their loud footsteps like drums. Oh, Ion's gonna have to kick some ass. Who are you? You're Circus, aren't you? I hear you're going around performing under the orders of King Vigonia. That true? I don't know what fucking accent that was, but like, whatever. I got taken aback for a hot second. Radiant human form. God damn. You need to, like, why are you not in human form more often? It is gorgeous eyes. Anyway.
Spacey, get behind me.
Okay.
It is very true, yes. And what business do you have with us?
I'm warning you for your own good. Get out of the city right now. What? Who are you to show up out of nowhere and tell us to leave? I believe we haven't done anything wrong here. You intruded upon us forcefully without warning. Did you really think we'd listen? A normal person would explain themselves first. Don't mess with me. You know what I'm talking about. You're from the capital, that's why. I won't ever forget how those bastards from the capital came and destroyed our lives 3 years ago. Realized they all have the same voice at one point.
You mean the Ferris purge operation?
Yeah, that! Purge! Ha! Nobody wanted any so-called purge, damn it! You're all from the government, aren't you? Then you're our enemies! Get out, outsiders! Thus, please be cautious. Unlike all the previous cities, advertising the fact that you work for the government might have adverse effects on your success. Celeste told us as much, and Ginia mentioned it as well. He didn't want to be seen and provoke the citizens, so who told them? How did they know? I mean, okay. Avi kind of heard about us, like the circus performing in other cities and stuff like that. So it's possible somehow someone heard, oh yeah, I think they work for the government or whatever. You know what I mean? But like, I wonder if Avi kind of told, but we didn't turn him down. We didn't like, yeah, no, we're not going to use your help. Where then it would make sense that he's like, kind of backstabbing us? Interesting, anyway. Until now, we hadn't told anyone we worked for the government, and I thought I'd understood what I was getting into. But I was too naive. I'd only realized the true meaning of those words after hearing those people yell at us. Listen up! I worked under a fiend merchant that sold him to the underground arena. I lost my job after the purge and my wife ran away. I used to supply weapons to the underground arena. Now my business is in shambles. The government meddled with our city and did something nobody ever wanted, damn it.
Said by the government? Ha! No one will want to see such a joke.
Get out of here right now. I can't take Guy B seriously with that voice. As the men hollered, they grew increasingly worked up, their volume climbing. This continues, it's gonna get even worse, but what should I do? But what should I... Okay, I was like, do? What? No, she didn't say that, dotted off. I'd only wonder, lost as to what would help, then... Oh, but then, sorry. Your anger is misdirected. Though we've been sent by the king, we're not Arthur's security forces. If you're impassioned enough to make so many complaints to us, I suggest speaking with an organization that can address your needs. What are you... You claim your life would be prosperous if the underground arena was left intact. But that's a mistaken assumption as well. Most of the money flowing inside that arena went into the pockets of influential people. If the underground arena were still around today, your lives would be much worse than they are now. Ion spoke in a neutral tone as the men stared at him. With their brains finally caught up, their faces turned red and they screamed at him.
Shut up, outsider! You don't know anything!
The men lunged forward in an attempt to grab Ion, but he easily brushed them off. Have they seen him? The man is like a giant and pretty buff. I don't think you can beat him. No, I am not an outsider. His hand moved toward his right eye and slowly peeled away his eye patch. Oh my god, are we going to see the reveal here? Oh my god, we're getting a CG of Ion. Oh, I wonder if that's like a brand. That's interesting. Oh my god, and why do you look so sexy in this CG? Stop it. I figured, like, what, you lost your eye in a fight, but no, you've got... Is that a brand? Because we didn't notice it on anybody else, like, you know... Oh my god, they've all got, like, you know, like, where citizens of Ferris might have, like, markings. Like, Rady has the magic gem in his forehead or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, this is, like... It's not like... You know what I mean? Like, depending on... I mean, everybody here seems pretty much normally human, but, like, Vilio's a dragon. You know what I mean? Where if he had, like, oh, you can tell he's a dragon or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't like, oh, people of Ferris are all born with these kind of, like... I don't want to say skin markings, because that sounds weird. But you know what I mean? But it's like, this looks more like a brand. Like, they tattooed this on you, like, you are own your property, you're a fighter. You know what I mean? Like, not like... Like, Zephora's got the little sachet that's like, see, I'm a citizen. I have a sachet. Like, But, like, damn. I really thought he was going to be, like, one eye, but no, he's covering up. Oh, okay. Nice. Nice. I like it. His eye was laid bare for all the world to see, and a peculiar pattern was etched into the skin surrounding it. If you were involved with the underground arena, surely you must have seen this before. Were you like an underground arena fighter? That's why he knew, like, your lives would be worse. To this day, I still cannot shake this chain from my life. Overlapping triangles formed a symbol that gave off a sinister aura. Yeah, it's like a pentagram. Everyone went silent, all of us holding our breath as Ion continued in a subdued voice. Actually, it's more like the Jewish star, because that's a six-pointed star. Pentagram is an upside-down star, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, Anyway, everyone went silent, all of us holding our breath as Ion continued in a subdued voice. I get distracted by it. For 7 years, from when I was 12 to when I was 19, I fought as a gladiator. When he was 12? Jesus.
Gladiator, you say? Don't you lie to me! I don't remember seeing the likes of you.
Yeah, that's right, you liar! Every year I look through all the gladiators from A rank to even C rank. I definitely know if you were one. I'm not surprised. I've never fought on the surface, not even once. Perhaps this will make it clearer. I was an X-rank gladiator. You were a gladiator slave in the underground arena? Oh, stop. Oh, that's why Ion was so silent and quiet. He was waiting for his little moment because he had this, and now my heart is broken. And don't you just want to protect him? Oh, stop! I just want to hold him and pet him, and it's okay, sweetie, to do that. Stop it! Stop it! Oh, he really is going to be the giant marshmallow. We kind of already knew. It's not like we thought he was, like, tough and mean or anything like that. Like, Zephora's the one with the fucking attitude that you know is going to be squishy on the inside. But you knew Ion is stoic and, like, quiet and, like, you know, angry-eyed as he is. You were like, you know he's a big softie. And he really... Stop it! And now he's got this tragic backstory. Guys. I was sold to the underground arena when I was a child, and I fought as a slave starting that day. A total of 27 slaves were brought in the same year. Every single one of us desired the collapse of the underground arena. However, in the end, I was the only one who lasted long enough to witness it. Everyone else perished. This makes me want to cry, guys. I repeat, the underground arena is something that should not exist in this world. Ion spoke without inflection. It's one thing if you made the choice to be like, fight to the death, woo, okay, because you're like, whatever. But the thing is, the people who would willingly fight to the death either have, like, mental problems where you were like, everything's going wrong in my life, and you're trying to deal with maybe some kind of emotional trauma or, like, whatever, by throwing your life away, which is, you need a therapist, not a fight to the death. Okay? Or your slaves or something like that. Like, there is nobody who's like, yeah, no, like, I mean, you could go and be like, yeah, I like boxing or whatever. That's a choice you do where you're gonna maybe get physically injured, but you're not fighting to the death. Fighting to the death, no sane person is like, sounds like a fun time. It's either because you're a slave or you have some serious mental and emotional damage that is causing you to be willing to throw your life away like that. And it's always going to be people, like, again, slaves or people who are desperate. Like, I can't feed my family. I can't afford to do this. Well, you could always maybe fight to the death. Maybe you'll live. And if you don't, well, whatever. You know what I mean? And people in desperate situations, it's always preying on people in a desperate situation, whether, again, it's you're emotionally traumatized from something bad happening, so you're like, fuck it, I don't care, I'll throw away my life. You're desperate to, like, support your family, so you're gonna do whatever you have to do, or you're basically a slave. Like, it's always, you know what I mean? It's never like, yeah, cool, sounds like a great time, let's go stab each other. Nobody in their right mind does that. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, he ain't wrong. Like, and the fact that, like, oh, come on, it was a great time for everybody, except for the people that were dying and fighting to said death. You know? Ion spoke without inflection. He wasn't goading them, nor accusing them. He sounded like he was only stating a fact. God, the fact that he's like, the way he's holding his hair up, it's so sexy. Stop it. But that made his story all the more harrowing. No one uttered a reply. Not us, nor the people around us. And it's sad because he was basically safe, so they branded him so that he couldn't ever walk amongst people without anybody knowing, you know? You all yapped on, but fell silent the instant you saw an actual victim. Oh, that's Zephora. Never mind. Sorry, I thought it was Ion for a second. You all yapped on, but fell silent the instant you saw an actual victim. What a shallow bunch. There's no need, Zephora. I have no intention of condemning them in the least. I only wanted to tell them one thing. And there were also people like me. Hey, let's leave already. Yeah. They looked at each other with chagrin before leaving our camp. Abruptly, the world fell quiet again. Is he going to put his eye patch back on? Don't. Ion, oh, we did. Oh, come on, no, take it off. I just want to see your sprite without it. You know what I mean? It's exactly as you've just heard. Please allow me to apologize for fabricating my past until this day. Ion put on his eye patch once again, turning back to face us and lowered his head. Lift your head, will you please? Ion, I should be the one saying sorry. I was the one who instructed you to cover up the truth. So, an ex-officer was a lie? Seems likely. My investigations, I couldn't find Ion's name in the Registrar of Ferris's public security forces. I shouldn't have expected anything less. You even dug that deep. Obviously, the first thing I do is a background check on the people I travel with.
Seriously? Did you look into me as well?
Look! Rady's eyes are like sweating bullets! I only know you're a furball.
Hey! That can't be it. How about my handsome looks or my cuteness?
I was pretty sure that Rady was making jokes on purpose. Yeah, because, he's hiding shit. We know that. And I'm pretty sure in our little flashback when we remembered the water spirits or whatever, Rady was the one that was there talking to our parents. We've known him longer and we just don't remember. But thanks to him, Ion's expression softened ever so slightly. Look at his sweet little face. Stop it. All of you do not seem too surprised. I am surprised, but nothing more than that. The dragon, the spirit contractor, a furball, the sentinel's heir, and a noble. Look at our lineup! Even if we throw a gladiator into the mix, it doesn't seem weirder at all. And in terms of secrets, well, I think everyone's in the same boat. Shalia, we're waiting for your... Well, you were in Orion's, but, there wasn't too much secret stuff coming out for him there, huh? Everybody has one or two things they can't tell others. It's normal.
That's right. Life throws lots of things in our way. At least all the people here won't mind at all.
Yeah, I think so too. More importantly, thanks for saving us there. Thanks to you, it didn't escalate any further, and I'm so glad for that. No, I did not do anything. And we've not solved the pressing issue of this city yet either. Kind of barged in during our discussion about that. What to do for our show, huh? Felt like my hands were tied. Then Ginia spoke up in a level voice.
Objectively speaking, going along with Avi's proposal is the most effective choice. He can even suppress the animosity of the citizens with his influence as an arena owner, and that makes it a very attractive option.
Indeed. If people don't come to begin with, we won't get anywhere. Right. Our duty is to put on a successful show and bloom the flora, no matter what. Sephora's right. If we don't have an audience, all is for naught. But is that really the right choice? For some reason, I can't see myself agreeing. What do you think, Ion? What I think doesn't matter if it's our only choice. If that's the case, I will obey instructions without That's not it. Ion, coming up with a way forward is my job. What I'm asking is what you want to do, not what anyone's making you do. Oh my god, that's true, because he's always like, whatever you say, and he always goes along, and it's like, now you look back and you're like, oh, you just went along not because I'll defer to you, because you're our leader, Ginia, and Spacey's the one who kind of... No, it's because you were a slave and you were used to just doing what people told you. That hurts so bad, guys. Stop it! Stop! You can't do that. That hurts. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, this is paralleling a little bit too much Baldur's Gate 3 at the moment with the whole, no, stop! You can't just boost people doing what people... No. I'm not gonna spoil it if you haven't played that game, but you really fucking should. It's amazing. Or find someone that's playing. I'm obviously playing it, but I'm not doing a playthrough of it because I suck at it, but... Your little tragic backstory is paralleling another tragic backstory, and it's making me sad. Stop it. But basically the same thing. I'll just do whatever you say, because that's what I'm used to doing. Stop! No, you're allowed to choose, sweetie! Oh! Oh! That makes me love him a little bit more than I think I did at the beginning, because it's like, stop! No! Think for yourself. You don't have... Look at his sad little face! Stop it. I can't. Now I'm so much weaker for Ion than I was when I started. Oh, damn. I really love all the characters in this so far. So far they're all gems. I'm really pleased with this. Silence. Seeing that Ion was torn, I spoke up once again. It's true, if we only consider the odds of success, Avi's proposal's our best choice. Like what we saw just now, similar to Cultura, our biggest problem is getting people to come, even though it's a different cause. But no matter how much I think about it, Avi's proposal doesn't seem like the right answer. That's my opinion, so what's yours, Ion? Well... With a nod, Ion cast his eyes down toward his palms. I thought this was going to end a little bit quicker. We should have just, once the guys left, stopped, but... I am aware that I am a man who's only good for his strength with a weapon. However, I've learned something from this journey. Even if I can only wield a blade, I can still bring a smile to someone's face without having to harm anyone.
He tightened his hand into a fist and looked toward the city with a solemn gaze.
I do not want to fight.
There was a faint whisper that dissolved into the night, but it held the weight of the world. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry, guys.
Even if it's for the sake of a show, I never want to fight someone to the death again.
In that instant, we probably all settled on one answer.
Alright, then that's it. But this is only my arbitrary opinion. Reluctance has nothing to do with whether the content would be suitable for our show. I believe...
That's fine. That's more than enough for us to make up our minds.
Yeah, I agree. Really don't want my friends to hurt each other if at all possible.
And if we don't do something about the root of all evil here, the flora likely won't bloom to begin with.
A good point. We got an audience, but it didn't bloom. If Allie hears that, he'd see red and march right over.
Looks like we all agree. We'll reject Avi's plan, and I'll cook up a program for us.
So, that means we gotta think about how we're gonna gather some peeps, yeah?
About that. When I went around the city, I got the impression that it's similar to Orion's.
Orion's?
Back then, the cause was everyone failing to pay attention to the voices of the spirits. I think a similar thing's going on here.
I see. You mean how the weak are placed in disadvantaged positions?
That. Only the strong and loud seem to stand out here, but I think there's a lot of people that aren't like that. After the failure of our first show and hearing Avi's warning, I'd been under the impression that our performances had no place in Theris, but not everyone in this city is put off by what we have to give.
We can focus on those oppressed by the ones in power, the people who can't even voice their unhappiness. However, filling our audience with that group alone will not be enough.
Right. And the people who need to change are those with the loudest voices, after all.
Hey, in that case, how about we actually take advantage of their hot-bloodedness?
All of us contributed, presenting and knocking down ideas as we brainstormed. How could we make everyone watch us? How could we put on a show that everyone would enjoy? We deliberated long, sharing our own unique opinions and wisdom. Then we moved into action, executing our plan to make the show succeed in this city.
The end! Are we getting to this showtime? Oh no. Ooh, we're gonna go talk to Avi again. Anyway, we'll wrap it up here, and like Ion's story is gonna make me cry, but like, okay. I'm like, Zephora is still my favorite. I love our clown bitch boyfriend, okay? But I'm starting to think that Ion is definitely far more intriguing. Again, I knew he was going to have more to offer than like what they were showing us to begin with, but it was like, come on, show me. And now it's like there's so much more depth here than I was actually expecting. But yeah, I'm still not sure whose route we're going to go down, but I'm kind of leaning to putting Zephora off to the third just because he is my favorite, so I kind of want to save him. And now I kind of like the idea of maybe doing Ion's first just because it's like, oh, now you're like really intriguing me and I just want to see you have a happy ending, sweetie. You know what I mean? But still, if you're at this point watching this, let me know what route you think we should go down first if you've got any thoughts on it, because I don't necessarily know if I'll have started a route by the time this one goes up. So just in case, let me know. But if everyone's down there going, do this person, and I don't do that one, it's probably because I started recording before this went up. I have no idea, because everything's all off right now with where I am time-wise. So, but yeah, just in case, leave ideas. Or at least if I choose a character, but everybody has a consensus, I'll do that character next. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I will see you guys next time. I have to go. My bird is fucking screaming like a banshee downstairs. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.